Wendy. Thank you for clicking on this video. I am a current WGU student studying data analytics and data management, and today I will be talking about my experience taking and passing the CompTIA A+ certification. I did it through the IT Foundations course, C393. I'm looking at my computer as I say this. And so in this video, it's going to be very simple. The first half of the video is going to be talking about showcasing the resources that are available or given from WGU to study for that certification exam. And then the last half is going to be my experience with taking the CompTIA A+ certification. So thank you for watching. So today, so I said that the class that I took to be able to prepare for the certification exam, it's called IT Foundations. So I just clicked on my degree plan over here and went to IT Foundation C393. And so the course material offered is through the CompTIA material. So I think you can actually get access to this stuff even without going through WGU. I think this is a CompTIA learning material that they have out there for sale. And so the learning process, it kind of shows you how you're able to it offers you reading material, so you have it through lessons, and then it will also show you allow you to have review activities, which that is basically just flashcards. You're also able to practice using PBQs, which are the performance-based questions. And then at the very end, you'll have practice questions that you can do. So for the A+ Core 1 exam, which that's the first IT Foundation C393, that's the Core 1. I believe it has how many lessons? 9 lessons, and then after you have a final assessment. So this kind of shows in past tense. I know here the date shows May of 2023, but I already took this and I read through every single one of the lessons, did every PBQ. As you can see here, I did the practice questions, did all of them, and then I also did the final assessment. And so with my practice questions, I guess I averaged at 79%. And then with the assessments, I averaged at, not average, but I scored 63% on those. And then on top of using the CompTIA Cert Master Learn information offered, I also used the other material that was offered, which was the amplifier practice questions. And so these they divide the questions up based on the domains. So here is domain 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then there's a practice test. And so each domain, when you click on it, it's going to show you it's going to break down the domains even further. So you can, and this is I think a great tool because you can go specifically to a type of domain and even go deeper into that domain to see what areas you might be struggling with and how you can better review for them if you need to go back and read more deeply. So I kind of like that. I hope that statement made sense to you. But and then after, when I finished doing all the the different domains, I did the practice exam. So, and then the great thing about this one is you can see the results of stuff. I took it. I was did I take it? And then with the amplifier practice exam questions, not practice questions, I'm sorry, but with the amplifier practice test, I scored 83%. So after I scored that, I felt a bit more confident, and I went ahead and I scheduled for my exam, and I did it and took it. I think it was in November actually of 2022. I think that's when I took it actually. Yep, November of 2022. Over here. So now this portion, the other portion of this video, I guess we're kind of going into it now, is I just want to kind of talk about also my experience taking the CompTIA A+ exams just in general. This isn't the first time that I have taken this exam. In fact, the A+, the Core 1, because A plus is a 2-part test, right? So the core 1 part, I actually took it. This was my 3rd time taking the exam. My very first time I took it when I was in I was going through a associate's degree at a local community college, and because I have an associate's degree in informatics currently, and it was one of the classes that was offered, and I didn't do well. Like, I don't even remember how much I scored in it, but I totally, like, and the class was like a 16-week course, and they had like the midterms would be like, you would take the first portion of like the first 8 weeks of the course was studying for the core 1, and then the last 8 weeks was studying for the core 2, and I failed both of them. So it also kind of now in hindsight, at the time, like when I failed my core 1, I don't even think I studied for the core 2. Like I feel like really checked out of the class, and I think that's kind of telling of maybe a type of low vibe, characteristic that I'm working through, which is really about consistency. Because I remember when I first took that exam, I like really battered myself. I like said how much of a failure I was. I had such a negative, like just such low self-esteem, as like, and people close to me may not feel this, but I think academically there was a time where academically I had really lost a lot of self-confidence in myself. So when I failed that core 1 exam, I like totally checked out, and then maybe it was about a year later when I attempted it again, and this also too I think was I happened to have a voucher. Maybe I got it from school or something. I honestly think maybe I had like a chance to take it again, but I didn't. Like earlier on, after I took that first try, but I had a voucher. So all of these times, thank God, like somehow, just I guess the universe or just God or whatever happenings happen have allowed me to be able to have opportunities to take these certification exams and not have to pay for them out of pocket. But so the second time I took it, I feel like I wasn't fully prepared for it. Like I didn't study with as much questions as I should have, and I ended up like just kind of winging it, which you're not supposed to do that with the certification exam. You know what I mean? When I say wing it, actually, it's not just like that I didn't study at all and just like scheduled the exam and walked into the testing center and took it. But actually, what it was is I didn't really practice taking questions. It's like I feel like one thing I'm really learning about taking certification exams is like, since how you really tested your knowledge is through taking questions, then that needs to be, I feel like, a bulk of how you study. I mean, I think that's what's going to work for me, or at least that's really what I'm going to try when it comes to like the networking certification, because that's what I'm working on right now. But what I did is, for the second time I took the A+, the core 1, I used this book. It's a Professor Meyer book, and I started reading it, and like, boy, maybe even a fourth into the book, I totally like didn't stick consistent with it, and I definitely didn't make it to the end of the book. I was very scattered, and then in the middle, like a fourth into reading this textbook, I purchased the Professor Messer notes, and then I started watching the videos. Didn't finish either of those, like the notes or the videos. And so like, definitely in hindsight, it's like I didn't really set myself up for success. You know what I mean? Like not actually completing either any like study plan, and then just time passing, and then the date that I'm supposed to take the exam comes, and I just have to walk in unprepared, even though that experience could have been avoided. So I look back and it's like, yeah, I know I took the core 1 3 times and passed my third time, but I feel like the first 2 times I was just not really studying for the exam, if you know what I mean. So this time around, I showed you guys what I did. I used the CompTIA learning material, the Cert Master learning material, and the practice material. And then after I scored 85%, I just went ahead and I scheduled the exam. So I'm gonna show you guys how the certification thing comes in the mail. It's really nice. You feel so happy when you get this in the mail. It's like, yay, like, yo, I done did it. It's a chance. Like when this happens, and then they give you like this little thing you can put in like your. It comes in like a little folder for when you get your A+ certification. Yeah, you can do it. So this one, it comes like in a little folder with the like the certification papers in it, and then like with a little card that you can put in your purse or whatever, or your wallet or whatever. So it's nice. When I got this in the mail, and it kind of took a while, but for it to come back like in the mail, maybe like a month or so, like 3 weeks there, but it was nice. It felt really nice to see it in the mail. So I'll show you guys it again. Is that right English? But I'll show it to you again when I have my Core 2 exam, only because I'm stoked about it. And so yeah, I hope this was informative. Like this video was somehow informative, whichever way. Definitely maybe a key takeaway is like if you're studying for a certification exam, maybe look at as like try to take a moment and pause and wonder like, is this really setting me up to be successful in that testing environment? Maybe spend a lot more time finding or using practice questions and practice exams, because the certification exam, it's like no notes, it's a test. So maybe what could work best is to find practice questions and do a lot of those once you've quickly gone through like material, so that you can also kind of gauge like, oh, I need to work on this part of the objectives or this domain in particular. I also in kind of like the topic of consistency, and that kind of also goes together with like resiliency. I want to share, and I'm gonna put it in the description. I'm gonna share a documentary about Booker T. I like watching pro wrestling, and Booker T is one of like WWE biggest superstars, and he has such an inspirational story about just his upbringing and all the things that he's gone through. I mean, he was orphaned at like the age of 13, but that didn't stop him from becoming truly a success. Like he is, I think, one of the stories that is like so wonderful to emulate, and I love to listen to and share stories like that, because it just kind of encourages me, and I hope it will encourage you too, to see like there are people out there who really had horrible cards dealt to them, and somehow they are like phoenixes rising from the ashes. Like they will just see any challenge and just go into it with such enthusiasm, and they'll be so dedicated towards improving themselves and reaching their fullest potential. And those are the kind of people that I am going to become. I want to emulate people like that. So I love watching, and I guess that's also why I love WWE. Beyond like the athleticism and the pageantry, I think WWE just has so many good stories in it. Like so many people who make it to the top. Almost everybody has like a story that is like bizarre, and you would think, well, man, how are you still here? So I'm actually looking forward also to this weekend, because this weekend there's going to be a main event happening. So we're going to see Cody and Brock Lesnar have a match together. So I'm really excited about that one. So yeah, guys, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Peace.